Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for October 2025. We're going to jump right in here. You have this lion spirit, it says be generous as spirit. You have this electric eel spirit, it says bring your ideas to life. Yeah, it's an excellent time for you, especially. Uranus is going to be in Gemini, your opposite sign, and for until the middle of November, basically, it goes back into Taurus. Again, as I've said to you many times since Uranus went into Gemini, your ideas are literally electric. I think I've told you that it's like a lightning bolt hitting the top of your head, Uranus and Gemini, even though it's not your sign, it's your opposite sign, so you're going to feel it more than everybody else. And so I think the thing to realize sometimes with Uranus and Gemini, especially for you, is that it could affect your work or how you work, but like in a good way, hopefully, right? And you could feel a little bit rebellious. Again, Uranus and Gemini is very rebellious, so you could feel like, going against the system or, going against your boss or something like that. It's like, it wouldn't surprise me if some of you have had thoughts of like being like, I'm going to create a business like I work for now so I can take my boss down, that type of energy. And it's definitely a good time to do that. I'm not saying that's exactly what you're doing. I'm just using that as a ridiculous example here, Sag. But, any of your crazier ideas and stuff, I would get started. You have that lion spirit, says be generous as spirit, and now you have the strength card. A strength card is not necessarily a card of generosity, although I will say that it would be a good card for being generous with yourself. It's a card of she is taming her inner voice here, this lion. And the lion can represent like her inner critic or her inner demons, but she is the one that's in control of what those things say to her. And so I think it would be a good time to like treat yourself really well. We have the eclipse in Virgo. And sometimes I think all this Virgo energy, we also have the South Node in Virgo right now. The Virgo energy, there is something about it that can have to do with self-care. Part of self-care is talking nicely to yourself, right? Using good words when you talk about the things you want to accomplish or do. You have the Empress. The Empress is the card of self-care in the tarot, so I think it would be a good time for you to focus on that. You have the Lovers. Definitely could be love. You've been getting love with me for a while now, Sagittarius, so if you want love, I would definitely put yourself out there. I do, of course, also think this could just be talking about the Gemini energy and taking advantage of it because the Lovers is Gemini. Again, this could be like an unusual path that is opening up for you. Traditionally, the Lovers was kind of like a card of being at a crossroads and having a choice to make. Traditionally, it was a choice in love, of course, right? But, this is a general reading, and I'm reading for a bunch of you, so I do feel that there could be a choice that is coming up for you here this month of October. And the Lovers is always really good for picking the new path or picking the new choice. And that's definitely something I would think about, if you're trying to make a decision between, two things or two options. Usually the new path or the new option is the correct option. The other thing is that this is your higher self angel. And, you could be getting messages from your higher self. It's also interesting that you have the sun here. The sun is usually pretty obvious, right? The sun is kind of like a spotlight in a reading. It shines a light on something we need to pay attention to. And, this could say that you are being presented with an option this month or a choice to, do something new or old in your life, and you're probably going to pick the new path with the sun. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Money, I literally just said to Leo, if you asked me before I started these October readings what I thought money would be like in October, I would have just been like, average, normal. And but really, one thing that has surprised me about these readings is money. So I feel a lot of you could be doing things that could be multiplying your finances. Now, again, you're going to have to do something. This isn't like magic money. This isn't money that's just going to magically appear for you or anything like that. But if you are like doing your research and learning new ways to work, or if you're asking for a raise or promotion or any of those things, then, that's where the increase is going to come from. If you're launching a new project or, launching a business or something like that, right? But that could be the thing that kind of gets started. Queen of Pentacles usually is a start. Queen of Pentacles is a card of multiplication, so she does things that multiply. But she has to get started to know what multiplies in the first place. It's like starting a YouTube channel. If you were to start a YouTube channel, it's like some videos will work, some videos won't. It's like obviously you should double down on the ones that are working and create more of those, right? And that's what she would do. And so I think that's how you should be thinking about your finances, not just this month, but probably till the end of the year, at least. And that's something I would focus on with the Queen of Pentacles. But again, money has been pretty good this month, which is, again, a little bit of a surprise to me, as a reader. It's just not something, looking at the astrology, I think money is changing, and will be changing by next year. So there you go. With the Strength card, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about going on an adventure, starting something new. Almost everyone has had the Page of Wands as well in these readings, and the Page of Wands is about following your bliss, basically, following your enthusiasm. He does what makes him feel good, what makes him feel excited about life. And I think it's interesting, you have the Queen of Wands. She also kind of follows her bliss. She has this sunflower here. The sunflower points towards the sun, and you have the sun right here. And then we go down. So obviously she wants you to go down, right? And you go to the Empress. The Empress says the more you take care of yourself, the better you treat yourself, the better your life will get. So I would literally follow your bliss this month. With the Lovers, you have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I feel that you could feel this. It's like maybe you want love, but maybe you're busy, right? And so that's just something to think about. I really don't feel this is advice or anything like that, Sagittarius. I just feel like this is a card that's explaining your situation, right? The only advice I could give you is that maybe it's saying, like, hey, if you want love, it's available, so just make a little bit of time for it, right? The Ten of Wands, some of those responsibilities are yours, some of them aren't. And so the trick with the Ten of Wands is to get rid of the responsibilities and the things that don't belong to you, and to just focus on the things that, the responsibilities that absolutely do belong to you. And if you do that, you will lighten your load. But, I also like the Ten of Wands. He's very close to reaching his home here, so he is about to have a harvest. And a lot of you could be very close to a harvest. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Wheel of Fortune. You always get you've been getting the Wheel of Fortune with me like crazy. The Wheel of Fortune is your card, Sag. I mean, whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength. This could also just represent a positive change in your fortunes, which we do see. Sun, Empress, Nine of Cups, really good cards showing up in this reading. And so a lot of you could just be changing your fortunes, but it's like something that you're doing. Again, there's nothing, there's nothing magical happening here. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Freedom card. It says released, unburdened, and new beginning. Love it. That's pretty much the first row. You have this Discovery card. It says hidden talents, possibilities, and growth. Yeah. So again, I do think it would be a good month for you to look at your burdens, right? From a certain perspective. You're looking at your burdens from the perspective of how can I remove these burdens? And that's exactly what I would do with that Ten of Wands. I also think that you will discover that some of the responsibilities you're carrying probably just don't belong to you. And, obviously getting rid of those things could help lighten the load, make things better. And that's what I would focus on with those two cards. You have the Queen of Wands, the Sun, and the Empress. The Queen of Wands is about going towards the sun. Like I said, she has a sunflower here. She's also my card of learning as you go. It's pretty obvious to me we are in a time where we have to learn as we go. Even Neptune and Aries, the kind of like the karmic lesson of Neptune and Aries is to not be a follower, to be a leader. That's according to Chris's crappy astrology here, but we will all be kind of like learning those lessons. The thing with Neptune and Aries that I warn people about is like people will be looking for a person who has all the answers, but really no one does. And what we have to realize is that we have the answers inside of us. And so the Queen of Wands wants you to do that, wants you to realize that really the only person that has answers for you in life is yourself. And if you realize that, things will go well. She even has this black cat here. And the black cat in the times of tarot were considered unlucky, but she doesn't care. She just likes the black cat. And so it's about like not caring what people think. And I feel that could be a little bit of a theme for you, Sagittarius. Sometimes I do think that is a burden, right? With the Ten of Wands is like if we care too much about what other people think, then we might be living another person's life. And, that can be a burden as well. So I would be focusing on that and removing any of those burdens. You have the Sun. We're going to have to see what this clarifies with, but, the Sun is like a spotlight, like I said. It could be focusing on everything around it. The Strength card, Lovers, Queen of Pentacles, Empress, Five of Wands, Nine of Cups, Five of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. So basically focusing on nurturing yourself and moving towards a wish or wish fulfillment with the Nine of Cups and the Empress. Both those cards, the Empress definitely focuses on self-care and fulfilling herself. The Nine of Cups we have to be in alignment with what we want to get it with the Nine of Cups. So it is a wish card, but to get the wish, we have to be in the energy first, right? And so I think that that could be part of the focus with the Sun card. The Sun card's definitely about ease as well. This baby or child, whichever you prefer, is carrying this big banner. It's meant to look like something that's very heavy, but he is carrying it easily. So the Sun itself comes up in readings when, I think it comes up in readings when it's trying to tell us that we can make things easier. Not easy, but easier, right? So that, anything you're working on that's requiring a lot of effort, it's like, how can you make it easier? How can you make it better? And that's what I would think about there. You have the Empress. Empress is about abundance and creating more abundance in your life, and also self-care, nurturing, which is definitely the first word that's popping into my head. She also has this waterfall here, which is all. I usually don't really ever pay attention to the waterfall. Sometimes I do. But the waterfall represents chaos, and it kind of represents the fact that she isn't worried about things that are going on around her. She's kind of like focused on what she can control. And the Queen of Wands is very similar to that. The Queen of Wands, she focuses on what she can do to change her situation, not on all the things that she can't do, right? And the Empress is also focused on ease. The Empress, all she has to do is wave that scepter and the wheat in front of her will grow. So she's not like struggling to get a result. And that seems to be a big theme for you here, Sag. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Page of Swords. Yeah, it seems to be a very mysterious month. The middle of the month, Pluto goes direct. And so we have Pluto retrograde basically from now until the middle of the month. Pluto retrograde is about getting to the bottom of things. So you have like a couple of weeks here where if there's anything that you're trying to get answers on, or if there's anything you don't know, it would be a really good time for you to do the research and to like look into mysteries. I think it's good for everyone really to look into anything that's mysterious right now. And it doesn't have to be like a real mystery. It could be like maybe you're trying to figure out how to make more money. Go learn about it. Maybe you're trying to think about how to get love. Go learn about it, right? And if you get those answers, you will get the reward with Pluto retrograde. With the Sun, you have the Five of Pentacles. Yes, so the focus is on money, right? Or not being left out in the cold. The other thing that we could argue here is that the focus would be on strength. The Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. You need to focus on your strengths. And you have the Strength card here. So these two people are calling attention to their situation, and they're not focusing on the opportunity that exists behind them. They could, they have a church behind them, and the church represents a place of sanctuary, and they could easily come out of the cold if they chose to. So the Five of Pentacles says, do not ignore easy solutions. I'll tell you a story. It's like years ago, I had a big business failure when I was younger, and I did nothing for like 4.5 years, and my parents kept telling me to get a job during that time, but I thought I was some sort of entrepreneur or something, right? So I didn't get a job, and I suffered that entire time. I could have easily gotten a job, right? It's like that was my Five of Pentacles. I could have easily done something, even though I didn't want to do it. It would have made my life better and easier during that time, right? And so that's like the Five of Pentacles sometimes, where it's like maybe there's an easy solution that we don't want to look at for whatever reason. But like, I don't really have very many regrets in life, but that's definitely one of them. It would have made my life easier. Probably there are opportunities I missed out on because I didn't have the money, right? And it's like if I just got a job, I would have had the money to take advantage of those opportunities. So, again, it's like sometimes we have to think about that with the Five of Pentacles. With the Empress, we have the Seven of Cups here. Yeah, a lot of Seven of Cups energy in this set of readings. It makes sense. Neptune also will retrograde into Pisces this month in the middle of the month. And so Neptune in Pisces is very dreamy. You could be revisiting a dream or an older dream that you have had. And I would definitely think about, bringing that dream down to earth, whatever it is, because, Neptune and Pisces, we have like one more chance until January to work on something that seems impossible, which is what I encourage everyone to do. And, people love to tell me, you say this to everyone. I'm like, yeah, because, again, the next time Neptune comes back to Pisces, you will be dead. And not only that, Saturn won't be there at the same time. Again, it's like this is, the universe is giving us a little bit of a blessing here. Having Saturn with Neptune, if there was ever a time where you could do something impossible, it'd be right now. So it's like the reason I say it in every single reading is because it's critically important, right? And also the reason I say it is because most people will do nothing. So don't be one of those people, right? Next in the area messages from your future self, you have the Stand Strong card. Yes, the whole entire reading is about strength. You have this follow your heart card. Yes, everybody gets these follow your heart stuff right now. Probably Uranus and Taurus, even though it's not going to happen till November. Doesn't matter. We can do it right now. I do feel there is a certain level of confidence. Queen of Wands, she kind of like needs to be confident, and that's the feeling I get off of the Stand Strong card. I think it would be a good month for you, like even if you aren't feeling confident, to act as if you are confident, right? And I'm not saying that you're faking it or anything like that. I'm saying you should give yourself more credit, probably, on whatever you're doing. You have the Five of Cups, Nine of Cups, and the Five of Wands. Five of Cups is about letting go of past regrets or sadness, or anything that didn't work out. He's grieving the loss of something that he doesn't even enjoy any longer, his taste for wine. So even if someone were to give him wine, he wouldn't drink it because he doesn't like it any longer. And there's something better behind him right here. These 2 cups to this bridge and this castle. You have these 3 fives here. And, 555 is a big change number. So 555 might be an important number for you this month. Or you could just be going through changes. I also feel that being grateful, practicing gratitude. Empress, Empress is a really good energy for practicing gratitude. The more you practice gratitude, the more you attract with the Empress. So I think gratitude is the answer here. You have the Nine of Cups. Definitely could be you wishing for something with the Nine of Cups. I kind of feel like you're getting more picky with your energy, but in a good way. There's 2 ways to read the Nine of Cups. One is that he is about to have a feast, and he is meant to look chubby on this card because he's about to have a feast. And it says that he has had a feast before. So the Nine of Cups says to get a wish, we have to have it before we can have it. And people always say, how is that possible? I'm always like, well, if you want love, go love yourself. Go love a dog. Go love a cat. If you want money, go be around things that make you feel abundant, right? We have to feel it first with the Nine of Cups. The other way to read the Nine of Cups is that he is a barkeep, and he is choosing who to give these cups to. And that's what I feel for you here, Sagittarius. I'm not saying this is just with people either. I feel you are being more picky with like what you give your energy to as well. And I feel good about that. Again, it's like obviously if you're giving to things that are more concentrated, that are more worth it to you, things will go better. You have the Five of Wands. Yeah, there's some sort of, I didn't realize this until the end of the readings, of course, but, I do feel like there could be some sort of conflict this month of October, just globally, so, keep your head on straight there. But also, I feel on a personal level, we could be seeing competition for the things that we want. And, I feel the Five of Wands is encouraging people to stand out. You have the Sun, you have the Strength card. It's like these are both cards of really standing out. And so don't be afraid of competition is what I feel like saying. If you're thinking about working on something like a project or a business or even in love, if you feel like there's competition, you could still be the one that wins the competition, so to speak. And I would try that. But, October seems to be a competitive month for whatever reason. With the Five of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups. Yes, I wouldn't even worry about the Five of Cups. I would just be in the energy of what you want here. It's like he's focused on what he doesn't have instead of what he does have. And so the more you can be in the energy of what you want, the better. With the Nine of Cups, Chariot, same thing. Really, Chariot is as above, so below. He's got these stars up here, these moons right here. He is being driven towards what he wants because he is in perfect alignment with what he wants. And he's leaving the city behind him behind. We are definitely in a time where everyone should be doing something to set themselves apart. That's the only thing we can do to beat the competition, to stand out at this time, right? And, I encourage everyone to embrace the Chariot's energy right now because, everything is kind of becoming the same. Even when you think about it, like AI, right? YouTube is being overrun by AI slop, basically, and it's all the same. So, again, the only thing you can do is be unique, be different. Doing that will lead to success. He is embracing the mystery. These 2 sphinxes represent the mysteries of the universe, and they're not attached to the Chariot. And I'm pretty sure this card said mystery on it, right? Didn't you? I thought you had a card that said mystery or something like that. Maybe I'm making that up, but I feel it's definitely a month where you should embrace the mystery and just see where it takes you. With the Five of Wands, you have the King of Cups. Sorry, I was looking at the Queen of Cups. You have both right here. You've been getting really good love readings. I'm pretty sure you've been getting the Queen and King of Cups, or at least one of them in the reading. So you could definitely be attracting a new love connection. It doesn't have to be a water sign. It could just be a emotional connection, like one that makes you feel good. basically. The King of Cups can also be a person who is stable emotionally, which is always a good thing. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Enchanted card and this Go For It card. Yes, if something is capturing your attention, of course, it's time to go for it. Even the Enchanted card, it's like something might have kind of cast a spell on you. Not literally here, Sagittarius. I'm speaking more figuratively. Sometimes I think we can become interested in a new idea, and it like becomes our obsession, right? And that's almost like what I feel for you here, but in a good way. It's like if you become obsessed with an idea that's going to improve your life, obviously that would be a good thing. And I feel this is saying, go for it, right? You have the Two of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. And this month seems very fast. Everybody's had something about speed and, kind of like really putting the work in. So it could be one of those months where you're very busy. But I think it's a good thing. Obviously it's coming up in the good stuff. Two of Pentacles is work hard, play hard. So I would make sure that you're, balancing the energy out, that you're not burning yourself out with the Two of Pentacles. You have the Queen of Cups. You have that card that says follow your heart. And the Queen of Cups is about following your heart. It is about, she listens to what her heart tells her to do. And that's it. And also her intuition. So I feel following your heart would be a very good idea. You have divine counterparts, like I said. So if you are looking for love, you could be attracting a very strong heart-based connection. It looks really good. So again, if you want love, this looks great. You have the Eight of Cups. Yes, with the Ten of Wands, definitely looking at responsibilities, right? Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you. And there could just be some responsibilities that you just don't need any longer here, Sagittarius. And those are definitely the things that I would be walking away from. With the Eight of Cups is like things that no longer serve you, things that are slowing you down. It's coming up in the good stuff, so obviously, this is going to be a good thing. And, it's probably going to lead to a better life. Some people say he's walking towards the Nine of Cups, but he doesn't know that. But you do have the Nine of Cups here twice. Let's see. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, this could be like a win or a victory coming in for you. I do feel financial wins. Like, it's time for Sagittarius to have those work wins, financial wins, whatever. You could also be overcoming an obstacle. The Ace of Swords is above the mountains. And so it kind of represents you overcoming some sort of difficulty or challenge. And you definitely could be doing that. Also, the other thing about the card is that the card is in perfect balance. And with the Two of Pentacles, you could be, balancing things out in your life in general. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Five of Swords here. Do you have all... Yeah, you have every single five in the tarot now. Five of Swords is coming up in the good stuff, though. So it would say, even with the Ace of Swords can be you cutting things out of your life. And the Five of Swords can say you're just walking away from something, like you are with this Eight of Cups as well. And so if you're cutting something out, it will probably lead to an improvement. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Four of Swords. Yeah, with the Two of Pentacles, work hard, play hard, right? If you need a break, take a break. If you need to rest, make sure that you're resting. He's also hoping and praying for a blessing. And with the Nine of Cups twice, this could be some sort of blessing. Or I would say with the Wheel of Fortune, this could be a change in your fortunes for sure. So that looks amazing. You have this Wishbone card that says wish granted. There you go. I also see at the end you have this card that says great good fortune on it. So I would be, Nine of Cups twice, I would be making a wish. It looks to me like you are getting something that you're asking for. Now I have the hiccups here, Sagittarius, of course. With the Four of Swords, he is hoping and praying for a blessing. So I would ask the universe for something with these energies. Sometimes I think we have to ask, and, that's what the reading is saying. You have this whale. It says, great worry over nothing. Yes, I've been telling people since 2016 that until 2033, there's going to be a lot of things to worry about. Uranus and Gemini. Uranus loves Gemini, but it's like still a little bit chaotic. Plus, we have other things going on. Pluto and Aquarius, which is a shakeup in general. So, yeah, there will be a lot of things to worry about. But, is it actually helping to worry? Probably not. So I would be focusing, like I said, with the Queen of Wands, the Empress, focusing on what you can do is important. You have this carriage that says a journey, either physical or mental. Chariot, right? I think the Chariot is great for travel, moving, making moves, doing things like getting out into the world. So any journeys could be very good for you. Can't make this one up. You have this Bull card, the whole entire reading. It says, do not back down from opposition, show strength and fortitude. Yes, I think the important card here is this tree, the juniper. It says, stand strong, right? even if you're not feeling strong, believing in your own confidence and being confident and sticking up for yourself and standing up for the things that you want and desire is going to be really important this month. Showed up a bunch of times. Strength, all that other stuff. Even the Ace of Swords is the card of fortitude, which is strength in the in the tarot. So I feel being strong is going to be important, even if you don't feel like it. You have this 4-leaf clover. It says great good fortune, Wheel of Fortune. Definitely a change in your fortunes. This has been coming up for you for weeks, the Wheel of Fortune. So a lot of you could be doing things to change your fortunes. But this looks really good, Sag. I forgot to say, make sure to leave a comment. Really helps me out. But thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.